Leaving worries. Worry Elaine was a busy mom of two. She was married to George. They are a loving couple who are committed to each other and their children. Elaine had a problem with worrying about the future. She was always thinking about where her family would be in 1, 2, or 3 years, who the president was going to be, whether her favorite sports team was going to play well. The list went on and on. George had the opposite problem. He had a problem worrying about the past. He was always worried that his mistakes would come back to haunt him, whether he had done the right thing, etc. One day, they both went to church with their kids. The sermon was about the importance of not worrying about the future or the past, and instead focusing on the present moment. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. It was like God had planned this sermon just for them. When they left, they realized that they had to do something about their worry. They decided to start praying every time they had a worry. They would say, "Lord, I'm worried about such and such. I will release it to you." So they started praying every time they worried. Before long, they started to worry less and focus more of their time and energy on their family. Don't worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Live for the moment. Live in the moment. Control to trust. Lily the librarian loved books. She loved reading them. She loved organizing them. And she loved helping people find the books they were looking for. She was a control freak, and she liked to know where everything was at all times. One day Lily noticed that some books were missing from the library. She was determined to find out who was stealing them. She started observing all the students that came into the library and what books they were reading. One day Lily got a call from the hospital. Her daughter Sally had been in a car accident and was in critical condition. Lily was devastated. She rushed to the hospital to see her daughter. When Lily saw Sally in the hospital bed, she was heartbroken. She didn't know what to do. She prayed to God. "Why have you allowed this to happen? I have no control over this. I don't understand." Lily spent the next week by Sally's side in the hospital. She prayed for her daughter's recovery. She read to her from her favorite books. She held her hand and told her that she loved her. Sally slowly started to improve. She was released from the hospital a few weeks later. Lily was so happy to have her daughter back home. When Lily went back to work at the library, she realized that something had changed. She didn't care about the books as much as she used to. She realized that all the books in the world couldn't replace the love she had for her daughter. Lily also realized that she had been too controlling. She had been trying to control everything in her life, including her daughter's accident. She realized that she couldn't control everything, and that it was okay to let go. Lily submitted to God and let Him handle her path for her. She knew that He would take care of her and her daughter. She was finally at peace. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Anna's affliction. Anna was a typical girl in her 20s. She went to work during the week and partied on the weekends. She lived for the weekend and excitement, drinking, drugs, bars, and concerts. One weekend she noticed that her hearing was strange. There was a loud ringing in her ears. She went to the doctor, who told her that she was going to lose her hearing. Devastated, Anna realized that this would change her life forever. No more living for the weekends or even working as she knew it. She slowly began to take charge of her affliction. She learned sign language and quit her job. She started teaching sign language to those who wanted to learn. Her deafness also forced her to retreat into the Bible. She scoured the Bible looking for verses on affliction. One day, she was reading the Psalms when she came upon a verse that hit her in the heart. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I obey your word. You are good, and what you do is good. She finally realized that God had been working in her life all along. She had been too busy partying and working to hear God's voice. Now she hears clearly, even though she is deaf. Anna started to go to church regularly and pray more often. She also started volunteering at a local deaf center. She found that she loved helping others who were deaf, and she felt like she was finally making a difference in the world. Anna's story is a reminder that God can use even our afflictions to bring us closer to Him. When we are going through difficult times, it is important to remember that God is with us, and He will never leave us. We can also find comfort in knowing that God is working in our lives, even when we can't see it. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I obey your word. You are good, and what you do is good.